Knowing how to use a camera can be a very rewarding skill. You get to work on very exciting projects like helping businesses grow, helping families remember their special moments forever, telling stories that change people's lives, documenting important events of our history, and so on. The options are quite limitless. Today I'll be doing some of that and I wanted to take you with me so that you can see what a day of a working photographer can be like. I will go and shoot some product photography for a bakery called Melon Coffee that I've been working with on their social media, and this time they also needed some photos of their managers. Melon Coffee has 3 locations in Vienna and today I'll go to all 3 of them. So let's begin. Right off the bat, I ran into the first issue. So I'm done with the first task for today. It wasn't very successful because one of the managers wasn't there, and in total I have to photograph 3 locations and one of them wasn't there, but I still took some content for Instagram from this first location and now it's time to go to the second one. This photo shoot went much better. I was there for more than an hour and managed to get the photo of the manager as well as some pretty nice product photography. I'm curious to see how it will go on the third location. Alright, the tasks on the second and the third bakery were completed. I did find there the people I needed to take pictures of, and now I got a box of really good rolls, and if you live in Vienna, like 100% recommend that you try these out. These rolls are so good. The next task is to continue with the content creation, and I'm going to a beautiful park that is close here. We'll take some pictures of this box and the rolls inside, and then I'll go probably to the first district, to the center as well, and do the same. There isn't as many leaves on the floor as I thought, so I have to figure out now a way to make the atmosphere and the autumn that I want to capture in this photo, or maybe also a short clip. I need to figure out a way to make that the topic. I had a meeting with a couple scheduled for this evening as well. They wanted to book me for their wedding and we talked about everything. I showed them my work and they said they liked it, so I think it went pretty well. And now I just got home for the second time. It's about 7 in the evening. The first time when I left the house today it was about 8 in the morning. Then I came back around lunch for about 1 hour to have lunch and to transfer all the photos that I had already taken to the computer. Then I had to go out again, meet with a couple, and then I had to be back again. Probably like 2 or 3 hours of the day were spent just moving from one place to the other. And now I'm pretty exhausted and it's even dark outside. So with that being said, photography can also be as tiring and exhausting as any other job. There are some days like this sometimes when you have to be outside, do a lot of things, and then you come back, you transfer all the things in the computer, and then you have everything to edit the next 1 or 2 days. Obviously, by the time that you're watching this video, I have already gone through all the materials. Before I go, I also wanted to talk a little bit about one aspect, like one difference between being a hobby photographer and a professional photographer. So let's build up the set and have some better lighting for that. Before I go, I also wanted to talk a little bit about doing photography as a hobby and doing it for clients, because in my opinion, those are quite different things. I don't know if you will relate to this, but the best thing I can personally compare it to is writing an essay in school. I really loved it when the teacher let us pick the topics ourselves. I loved it so much because when that happened, I had 100% creative freedom to pick the topic that I wanted to and then think and write about it. That was quite easy for me to do because also as a kid I was thinking quite a lot about things. So when I had the opportunity to choose what to write and think about, I already had some topics on the top of my head that I could immediately do. And I would even go so far as to say that it was entertaining. On the other hand, when the topic was already specified by the teacher, I found it quite difficult to start writing about it. That's because I felt like my natural thoughts, the things that I was naturally thinking about all the time, were being held hostage by the restrictions that were put in place by the specified topic. In the end, though, I think I learned more about how to think and how to write when exercising, or those ideas that were already specified and that were a bit outside of the realm of the ideas that I was usually thinking about on my own. Doing that can even end up giving you different perspectives and insights on the ideas that you were already thinking about on your own in the first place. Insights and perspectives you otherwise wouldn't have if you weren't forced to zoom out of this realm of familiar ideas or even go to a different realm completely. I feel the exact same way about photography. When I do it as a hobby, there is a higher push from the inside which makes me go somewhere and take some photos because I like it and be creative with it. It's a really enjoyable experience for me. When the topic is already specified from the beginning, I feel a higher resistance to start doing it. But what ends up happening when you are forced to work on a specific topic, the one that you didn't choose but you have to work on it, is that you get a lot better all around as a photographer. You learn a lot of things that you can even go back and apply to the things that are like fun to you and not work. In the end, what will happen is that you will get specific knowledge from each of those fields that you can also apply in the other fields, which might have taken you longer to discover if you were only working on one field. And that ends up making you a better photographer overall. Not even talking about the part that the more skills you have, the more things you can do, the less likely it is that you will get an opportunity and not know how to use it. So I hope I made my point clear with that. First, it's very important to know that some kind of photography will not be as much fun for you as some other kinds of photography. But also the second point is that by doing it anyways, you will end up improving on both fields at the same time. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.